It's March 5th, 2025. Special Agent Justin Jones is here at the address of Commissioner Ray Davis. How you doing, sir? Like Justin Jones. Justin Jones.
Justin Jones. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Ray Davis. I'm hard of hearing. I've been driving tractor.
Understood, sir.
Cover up.
It's a heck of a day to do this, huh?
Have a seat.
Appreciate it, sir. Grab the chair over here.
Wherever you want to sit.
All right.
Amen.
Here.
Where you live?
I live in Chatham County. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. About 45 minutes.
How long you been working with the GBI?
It'll be 3 years for me in July, but I previously worked at Savannah Police for about 6 years before coming over here. So
Tired of getting shot at?
it's pretty much.
Or the chance you getting shot at?
Yeah, exactly. What's your date of birth, sir? You got your address and phone number, all right? Okay, so we're here regarding some discrepancies that you noticed. When did you notice them at first?
I qualified in right now a year ago. The March a year ago.
Yeah, I cheated and read your bio online already. So
What now?
I read your bio online as far as you become a commissioner already. So
Okay, then you know the story.
Exactly.
I ain't been in but like 2 months 2 months since I was supposed to be in.
Right.
So this is what we used to get. We would get invoices that had detailed invoices. And then this is what we started getting right here.
Okay.
Now I know that boy.
Talking about is this Dink, the director?
That's
of
the
Public Works?
director of Public Works. I know him well. He hunts on some of my land. And as I was a farmer, he would do, he might have done 1 or 2 things for me.
Yeah.
He goes to church right up here in the neighborhood. Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. Now, I noticed Sand Creek. And when you get a bill for 219 hours
Okay.
at $105 an hour, and that's all you get as a county commissioner,
Right.
and you're supposed to just pay that, and I made notice of it. And I said, who should I go to ask a question about that? Because I was asked. So I called Public Works, which is Dink Butler. Now, I've known Dink, and I considered him a friend. Now, and what got me was, you take 219 hours and divide it by 40 hours in a week, that's 5 or 6 trucks.
Right.
But I know this boy ain't got 5 or 6 trucks. I mean, I go right by him in Leafield, a farm, and I see his truck. I didn't think he had 5 or 6 trucks, not 10-wheel trucks.
Right.
So I asked Dink, I said, is he subbing out? Because I was asked, was he subbing out? And Dink said, not that I know of. So this was like a Friday of
Last Friday, the 28th.
February something.
It would be the 28th if it was last Friday.
Friday before that.
Before that, it's the 21st.
You ever take the SAT test?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I did okay.
Okay.
And got me into Georgia Southern. So,
Get over 1,000?
I think it was close. It was 9 something. I forget. Yeah, it's been so long.
All right. So I say something to him about it. So Monday or Tuesday, Monday he calls me and says that he told Sand Creek that if he was leasing trucks, that they needed to be placarded with Sand Creek. Fast forward to Thursday. It shows up on my phone from Clay Connors, Sand Creek. Go ahead. You got to read the rest of it.
Prowling, okay.
Go the other way.
Up, down, okay, from there, okay. Tell me, I asked him, that's the least of my problems, you got my number. You could have asked me, or gave that person my number. I run mine in 5-10 leases trucks a day. I know the rules. Okay.
Why would I call the man with the trucks when I'm a county commissioner and these, as I understand it, these employees of the county work for the county commissioner? Why would I not call Public Works chairman?
Yeah, to make sure, yeah.
He threw me under the bus. Now, he says he didn't because he called me the next day and I told him, I said, well, why'd you tell? I said, I thought this was confidential. He said, what you talking about? He said, well, I told them to placard those trucks. He said, they said they did. I said, you need a picture? He says, what do you mean you need a picture? I said, if you need a picture to make sure they done, I got one for you. He said, yeah, send it to me. I said, hell no. Last night we had a meeting, and his brother is a county commissioner who has voted on this stuff here, and he's been recusing himself lately, but he has voted on this as his brother, which is a conflict of interest. Now, I don't know that anything is going on criminal here. Now, I also know that Sand Creek, Clay Connor, is leasing another, I know one truck, maybe two, one truck. I know he's doing that, and it's placard with his name on it. And this guy is getting paid $90. But yet we've been charged, I don't know that, I can't prove it, but it looks like that truck is being charged to the county $105.
Is that in here as well?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, all of them show 105.
Are there past requisitions in which, okay, the numbers are coming out to something different entirely that you can compare to the most recent one?
Say this again now.
So this is the most recent requisition, so dated in
I gave
January
you
this year. Are there past ones with Sand Creek at all in y'all's records?
I can pull up what Sand Creek has, because what I do is they gave me an iPad, and I don't even know how to turn that damn thing on. This is, I know where it's at, and I get the clerk of court to print it out for me.
Right.
And because I can mark it up like that. See, I can mark them up, and I go through them, and I'm sitting there looking at them.
Right.
During the meeting, I ain't trying to figure it out where it's at on the iPhone, figure out where it's at on the iPad.
Is this my copy? Oh,
Yeah, you can keep those.
yeah, the reason I asked is just for comparison's sake, okay? If there's a discrepancy, you did the math with this one, it's not really coming out the way it should. I'm like, okay, what was the past one say? Did they order 219 units last time? Was it 105 last time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, what Dink Butler said last night, see, Dink got up there last night. We had a commissioners meeting. Dink got up there last night and said that he's on the way out because he's going to retire in like August, that he wouldn't do anything unethical, that, you know, and gave us every truck is being tracked and monitored through their office up there. Now, if that's going on, why are we getting this?
Right.
And I told Dink, that ain't good enough. That ain't good enough for us to pay. Now, the Resco, I think you got that in here. Or I done lost it. There it is right there. There's another trucking company that's hauling rock. Now those are in semis. Those are not 10-wheelers. And look at the data on it.
What is the rest?
Every load in and out, when it leaves, it's plaque. You know, it's
The weight, everything.
yeah. Now, but we getting this other. Now, how do I know that them loads ain't being those hours ain't being padded?
Yeah. Right.
Now, but I can pull the rest of them up on Sand Creek, and there were some that was itemized.
Right.
But this is what they got to. And I told them this was not good enough. But then last night, and it should be in there, the same shitting thing. And now, Clay Connor was there last night. I thought that, you know, I didn't know what the hell was going on, but he was there last night, the guy of Sand Creek. And his brother, when we went to pay this, his brother gave a resounding kiss my ass, got up there, like, my brother worked so hard. Now, what was your first name?
Justin.
Justin Jones. When people get up there like that, and what Dink's done, it makes them look guilty. Now, whether there's something there or not, I don't know.
Right.
Whether this is illegal, I don't think. Subbing out, I don't know that it's illegal. But I don't know what in the hell's going on.
You mentioned that you're asking these questions because someone asked you. So does that mean that someone noticed these irregularities independently of you?
I don't think nobody knows. I don't know who you would go to find out more about that without you going to Public Works and going in there and getting their information. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all go in there and take their computer?
So if it leads to that, there's probable cause to believe that, you know, there's some kind of criminal occurrences happening, you know, amongst these different divisions within the community and things like that. And that would give us reason to at least go and ask, if not, you know, go ahead and serve a search warrant to investigate, you know, ourselves.
Well, there's one thing this commissioner, there's 3 brothers over there. At Connor, it's their daddy I played ball with. Then in high school, state football championship, baseball championship, basketball team, played softball with him, and all 3 of his sons have worked here on the farm for us. And what this has done to me is, I saw a discrepancy. I asked Public Works, and now it's thrown back on me.
So essentially, you notice the irregularities. Let me just kind of recap everything and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? You notice someone asked you about some of these numbers here, kind of pointing out they were off. You were able to identify that as well. You go to Dink, you know, to kind of check. This is his department. He's over Public Works, correct? You go to Dink and you kind of ask him about this. Hey, this doesn't seem.
Is he subbing out?
Exactly. You ask him about this, and then he apparently reaches out to Clay. You know, you're asking for proof that this is what it is, right? He reaches out to Clay, kind of throws you under the bus, and Clay reaches out to you. It's like, is this good enough, and things like that. And it's in the text messages that you saw, that you gave me, essentially. You guys most recently had a meeting in which this was kind of hinted at. Do the other commissioners, are they aware of these discrepancies that you're bringing up to me, or not?
All right. The sitting commissioners raised the taxes and hid the Hyundai wells. I farm. Me and my brother have got 5 irrigation wells that are at risk with these Hyundai wells. Now, if one of my irrigation wells were to have a problem, it could take, the water draws down because of the aquifer, they pumping so much water. If you have to lower the pump in the well, that's $35,000–$40,000. Let me back up. They're going to have a drawdown, that's established, 20 or 30 foot drawdown. And this is because we're not 2 or 3 miles from all the wells. We're going to have a drawdown. For me to pump this water further, it's going to cost me more diesel, because when you pump water further, it's like running an extension cord out there. You lose volts the further you run it. So I'm going to have to increase my pressure because I got to pump it further. To increase my pressure, there ain't but one way to do it, is increase your RPM. Now, will my engine do that? But to increase the RPMs, and says that works, I'm going to burn more diesel fuel and electricity. So this is going to cost me, because they say, if the science says if there's not more, or what the data says, if there's not more than a 30-foot drawdown, that's not significant. So it's going to cost me anyway. Now, if I have to lower the pump, that's $35,000–$40,000. If I have to put a new pump on it to get the pressure, and the engine on the top of the ground won't run the RPM, then I got to put a new engine on it. That's over $100,000, and we're not talking about crop damage. Now, the prior commissioners hid this from us, and I'm against this, and that's one of the reasons I got elected. Now, I'm off on another story, but I've been on the front page of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The governor has sent people down here to me. John Burns in Effingham, who is the Speaker of the House, he sent somebody down here to talk to me, to back off. Originally, and I'm going to get back to originally, when they cut the deal, you go to surface water in 25 years. We started going against them. I spent $10,000. My brother spent $5,000, and we hired lawyers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that stopped the Dakota pipeline. And we got over $20-something thousand in these loggers. So we started going against the wells. Now, they don't like it because when I ran against the governor's friend that was a commissioner in Bulloch County. That's the only one I would have run against. And I beat him, got 65% of the vote. And I got put in early, you read all that. Now, there's 3 commissioners up there that will be voted on in 26 that wasn't voted on this time. We won 2 seats and flipped the chairman. We lost one of the seats in the District 2, which is Portal, Statesboro. We lost that seat, and when we lost that seat, we lost the election. Because you got 4, it's a 4-2 vote now. If we could have got that seat, it'd have been a 3-3, and the chairman would have broke it on our side because we done flipped the chairman. Right. So they don't like what I've done, they go and,
Yeah.
Now, What was your question now? I got off the track.
You're fine. I was asking if, because in the request made by Busby, he mentioned that one of the commissioners, maybe is this the brother that you're mentioning that spoke up recently?
Yes, he's...
What's his name exactly?
Toby Connor. Now, Clay Connor, which is Sand Creek, is in business with Timmy Russian, who's a sitting commissioner. I think you'll see, and if you do it, investigate it, you'll see that.
You mean the name one more time, Tim? What's the last name? Tim what?
Russian.
Russian.
Timmy Russian. Tim Russian.
Gotcha. Okay. To your knowledge here, because you don't know the full ins and outs of how the Public Works keeps their books and everything, do they have a financial overseer as far as what handles their books? And
Christy King is the financial CFO.
Okay.
And then Cindy.
Yep.
Damn it. Cindy something is the interim county manager. See, the county manager left. Tom Couch left after 22 years of Bulloch County.
Yeah.
Cindy Steinman she was the assistant county manager. She's the interim now, and we're doing a search for them.
Gotcha. For the next. Okay.
Now, go ahead.
Was there any other records aside from this one that stuck out to you?
Not particular to that, but I'm gonna get you the rest of them because there are some itemized.
Okay. Good.
All right, this is the bunch that's picking up the debris on the side of the road. They're contracted by Bulloch County through Public Works. This is the bunch that's supposed to be consulting, which is monitoring it, as I understand. Because, anytime a government hires somebody to do something, you got to have somebody to monitor it, a third party.
Right.
Now, they first asked for $3 million. Then they come back for $7 million. Last night, we gave them $3 million more. Now, whether or not we're going to be reimbursed by FEMA, federal, GMA, state, the federal reimbursed us up to 100% to a certain date, and then it was 75-25.
Right.
And the state has, and then the state was supposed to give 10 or 15, but the state has now proposed that they cover that 25 for a certain period of time. That's an ass of money. That's an ass of money. Now, when I first decided to run, a sitting commissioner, Anthony Simmons. Now, Anthony Simmons is one that'll be up for election in 26. He's been a sitting commissioner for almost 30, 40 years. I worked on Bulloch County Parks and Recreation back in the early 90s. I served, you can't serve but 2 terms. I served more than 2 terms to finish what I started, because the first splash tax, $4 million went to Mill Creek, which was the first splash tax. The second splash tax was like 10 or 12, and over half of it was designated. The splash tax people vote on it. By law, it's got to be spent like it, was to go in the outer lying areas. They wanted to put the money at Mill Creek. I was the point person. Rayburn Anderson, the chairman of the county commission with Ag Bulloch Fertilizer. He asked me to serve on that committee. I was the point person for procurement. I bought 3 pieces of property, or made the county buy 3 pieces of property still. Neville, Brooklyn, Portal. So I knew what I was getting into here. This was my thought when I qualified, okay? I sat there till about 11 o'clock before I qualified, hoping somebody would walk through that door. And nobody did. So I qualified for my community. My advertisement was, I heard my community call. Now, I didn't do a lot of campaigning. My daddy, who died 2 years ago, I sat in this office with him 30, 40 years. He was chairman of the board at the bank at Farmers Merchants Bank. He was on the EMC board. One of the most respected men in this part of the county. Now, if my daddy told me something, you could take it to the bank. When I qualified, I had this fella that I helped my daddy do business with. And what he came to me and said, I know for a fact that our commissioners are on the tape. And it ain't a little bit of money. This man is as well respected in not this community, but he's up on the other side of Statesboro. He's as well respected in business as my daddy was. So I can't help but take that. He said, I've talked to people. I know who they are. I know, but he said, don't ask me, I can't tell you no more. But this is what's going on. Now, we got back to the sitting commissioner of 40 years. I've worked with him through the Parks and Recreation, buying land, building these parks, and me and him's always worked together. I don't have a personal problem with him. I don't have a personal problem with any of them. But this went before the courthouse, which was a foreclosure on his house. I know somebody that's got a database that can check this stuff. He went back, you got to pay that thing off in installments. He went back and borrowed against those installments and I don't know, the $350,000, and maxed the $350,000 back out, and it went into foreclosure. It went before the courthouse twice, or it went in the paper twice. I think it's got to be advertised 4 times before it can be sold in front of the courthouse. It went twice and disappeared. Now, do I know that anything's legally wrong here? No, I don't. Do I know anything's wrong with what I gave you? No, I don't.
Right. The speculation at this point,
Well,
things just don't add up, right?
But now what I don't want is this to come back on me.
So unfortunately, and there was some kind of concern, the way Busby kind of communicated with me, is that you're concerned about that very thing, understandably.
Well, now he's concerned about it coming back on him too.
Understandably, everybody's in, high-ranking positions here within the community, so I get it, I understand. But unfortunately, it's going to have to be on record. When I go and talk to these people, it's going to have to be on record, unfortunately.
What do you mean on record?
As far as the criminal investigation, we have to document everything that's told to us. So all this.
Is it going to be? Can that be subpoenaed?
So once it's, because it has to be given to the district attorney's office at some point. As far as the criminal investigation, if for them to make any kind of determinations, okay. That's just how these things go. We can't really do it under wraps. We can't do it in secret. We have to document everything.
Yeah, but am I going to be exposed in this?
So as far as exactly where it comes from, I mean, I can shield you to the best of my ability, but if the accusation has to come from somewhere. Because how else would we find out? How else would we be requested, for it to actually start an investigation? You understand?
Yeah, but I mean, if there ain't no coon in that tree, you ever know anything about coon hunting?
I've never coon hunted in my life, no sir.
Well, the dogs run this. They turn the dogs out and they go run this coon, and he goes up the tree. Sometimes the coon taps the tree, and if he's and runs off,
yeah.
And the dog thinks he's up the tree.
Yeah.
So you go up there with the lights, and there ain't no coon in the tree.
And understandably, it can have a damaging effect, whether it comes out there.
Well, now, I'd rather not do this. Can I pull back right now? Is that an option?
So I would have to discuss that with my superiors as well as the District Attorney Busby, because that's who actually made the request on y'all's behalf. But I would think that it's best to make sure that there's nothing illegal occurring.
Well, what I'm saying is that if you review this
And nothing comes of it.
and y'all don't have, before you go in there, you need to have a strong suspicion that something's up.
So I'd have to go to Clay Connor and make sure that his books are up, to make sure that his vehicles are tagged in the way that it should be, and to make sure he has the quantity of vehicles that would make it mathematically possible, like you're saying. I would have to do all these things for sure to ensure that it's on the up and up, which is what
I understand, but you've got to. How many?
Not for me to go in there and be like, Ray Davis told me this and that. It must be true. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're not dumb either.
Yeah, we're not reckless in that regard. Yeah.
I understand that, but these people. These people aren't fools either, and they have technology that they can find out things.
Yeah, access to the same databases that you have, right?
Well, I'm not as. Hey.
You're not able to access them.
My wife was a media specialist. She does this stuff for me,
right.
And she's the only one that knows that I call Robert Busby.
And that's the way it is right now. And my superiors, of course, they can give me the case. Yeah.
Well, can't y'all look at this stuff I give you?
Yeah, exactly.
Discuss it with Robert.
Yeah.
And before you do a damn thing, let me know.
If you're able to supply us with all the documents that this, in addition to historical records, for comparison's sake, the way I was asking for you earlier, to make sure everything is on the up and up, that would give us our best knowledge as far as how to proceed with such an investigation. If it's determined at that point that nothing's really come of it, then we give it to District Attorney Busby. He would agree. Best case scenario is that everything is on the up and up, and at that point, there would be no need for a case to continue at that point. That is a possibility, but it's still documented that everything was done to reach that point in which we could close that case. And that could be...
Can't we close the case right now?
That's something I'll have to discuss with my superiors.
Who is your superior?
Lindsay Smith and Danielle O'Connor. Lindsay Smith is our
I thought Robert Busby talked with you.
Yeah, so he can request assistance in an investigation from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation as the district attorney here.
Let me say this. You got Public Works over here. Bulloch County's probably got 50, 60, 70 employees. If y'all investigate Public Works, whether you find something or not, and it comes back to me, that has destroyed my relationship as a county commissioner with every other employee that this county has.
Understood. But so outside of that example I just gave, in which we do a full investigation and it's determined that nothing wrong is occurring, it's just misunderstanding. Let's just chalk it up to that. At least it's confirmed that it's just a misunderstanding and that it's on the up and up. But if you start this investigation in the way it is now, and it's determined that there's something unusual happening, something criminal occurring, wouldn't you be a little bit more appreciative and satisfied that we exposed that?
I took an oath.
Yeah. Right. You want to do right by the community. That's why you're doing this, right?
Yeah, but I had a fellow come by here when I was involved in the Wells. I had a fellow come by here after I won the election. He looks at me and says, "You're not scared for your life?" Now, some people can take things too far. But he wasn't thinking he took it too far. And we've got them wells from 25 years that they were supposed to go to surface water. The Geechee River Keepers, which we met 3 times in this office, that sued the environmental EPA, and they subrogated to the Joint Development Authority. You know who the Joint Development Authority is? That's Bulloch, Bryan, Chatham, and Effingham, who's involved in all this well and water business. and they mitigated it and reduced it to 15 years. Now the governor has donated or budgeted over $5 million to Ebenezer and Effingham County to upgrade that water purification plant to run water to Hyundai. And now what's on paper is that they getting water in the next 3 years from Briars Creek in Savannah, which is piping it to Hyundai. 2 years later, they bringing more water from Effingham County, Ebenezer, to Hyundai. So we have removed from 25 years of surface water to 25 years of well water to 5 years, and then they got to go to surface water. Now, they're admitting they made a mistake. Now, somehow I got to keep my name out of this, or I'll be ruined. I mean, how am I supposed to serve 4 years, 48 months, and I'm on month 2 now, so I got 46 more to go.
I understand the concern, and unfortunately, as well as you know, doing the right thing for the right reasons can sometimes put the target on your back, understandably. So there's many ways that this could go. It could be deemed that, okay, it's on the up and up, you were just mistaken. Okay.
Well, now, I'm not mistaken about anything. I don't know that there's anything criminal here.
Exactly. I'm just giving you examples of how these things could go. So it could just be, okay, this seems a little fishy, but okay, maybe it's a mistaken on how they're documenting this stuff. Okay. I mean, it's money that's being spent.
Hold on,
right?
man. I ain't mistaken on how they document it. There's a documentation.
Well, I'll change my example then. Okay. So
what now?
So I'll change my example for you. I'm just giving you different alternative routes that this could go as far as the criminal.
Well, the reason I call Robert Busby is he ran for district attorney, and we were part of the group or the people that we spoke at different functions together, fundraise, whatever, and I got to know him, and when he won and I won, you know, we had a phone call to congratulate, and he said, if I can ever help you. Well, when I got through, when this thing hit me, and I called Public Works, Dink Butler, and this thing blowed up like it did, I got thrown under the bus. Now, who am I supposed to talk to?
You did the right thing by identifying the issue, telling someone about it, D.A. Busby, and then he's done the right thing by actually initiating a criminal investigation. We have cases in which we investigate, and it's determined that there's no criminal activity.
I get that part. Yeah. I get that part. But you ever know the story in the Bible about David and Goliath?
Yes, sir.
What if he missed?
I understand that completely.
What if he missed? What if this is nothing illegal, but it's unethical? There ain't but one person that's created all this, and that's Dink Butler. Now, is there anything criminal? Now, he's just like I had a friendship with him, or I would like to think I still have, even though I told him I couldn't trust him. But we shook hands last night, and he looked at me. I walked by him. I shook his hand. He said, "You had any more fireworks?" I said, "Not since I talked to you." And then he got up and made his presentation, and he looked at me 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I think he probably looked at me more than he looked at anybody else. But that was me being subconscious as to him getting up there speaking. Now,
I mean, I understand. Yeah, we investigate criminal matters, so if there's no criminal occurrences here, then there's no reason for us to continue at that point. We don't investigate, ethics.
Well, now when y'all make a determination, there's nothing there. Can y'all make that determination without going into Public Works? Because
Potentially, yeah. So the records, and we're able to make an account for all the money that's spent and make sure that these things are occurring in the right way. Then sure. Yeah.
well, wait a minute.
I don't
now.
see how that's
Not
done
all
without
it-
contacting Mr. Connor, though. Who
What now?
is one of the discrepancies. I don't see how that's done without contacting Clay Connor, who is one of the discrepancies that you identified. I don't see how that's really possible unless we get all of his records without him knowing. See what I'm saying?
I understand. But when you investigate Public Works and Clay Connor's records, this filters down through the CFO, the financial people within the county,
Yeah, it could get
and
even
it
bigger,
gets
yeah.
to the county manager because he's the one ultimately responsible.
The
She
checks
is.
and balances and things like that. Yeah.
And they all pissed off.
I don't misunderstand your concern with it growing its own legs.
And if you go to Clay Connor to get his records to verify, then there sets it off the whole shooting match, or you go into Public Works, there sets it off, and they gonna want to know who told, who instigated this.
So what I can do for you is this, okay? After we're done here, I'm going to follow up with my superiors, who will contact Busby as well as and kind of get an understanding as how we need to proceed, whether we proceed or not, as well based on everything that you told me. That's the best I can do. I have my own superiors as well, and then you work for the people here, understandably. So we have people that we all answer to. Busby has people he answers to. My superiors have. We got to do things the right way here. You're not doing anything wrong. I understand the concern behind doing it, but again, it does put a target on your back. I don't misunderstand that. But this is the way that we have to do it. We have to do it on the up and up.
I'm the 7th generation to farm this land. I got a son that farms with me, it's 8. I got a grandson that wants to be the 90. He don't want to play sports. He wants to ride his 4-wheeler, come up here and drive his tractor. And they all depend on me.
I understand, sir.
And I didn't have to do this.
I understand that.
I told everybody when I qualified, and I don't think I told you this, that if I won, I was going to be the maddest man in Bulloch County because of what this county was doing, what those people were doing, and I was told they were crooked. But if I lost, I was going to pitch a party, invite everybody to it, because I was going to be the happiest man in Bulloch County. And I paid for billboards for people, for David Bennett. You know who David Bennett is? He ran for chairman. Nick Newkirk. Billboards on Highway 301 at Joe Franklin. He put mine up, then we got other billboards. I took out pages of ads in the newspaper to help get these people elected. But we lost the election when we lost the one seat, which was the district up there in Portland. And because of what I see and what I'm doing for my community, this has turned into a damn nightmare. And there ain't but one person responsible for this. That's Dick Butler with Public Works. And he's going to retire in like August or September.
Was that always the plan, or is this retirement announcement kind of coming out of nowhere?
So
Has he mentioned his plans to retire in 2025, or is this kind of coming out of nowhere?
No, he can retire. Now, what most people do is they retire at that age so they can draw their retirement, and they go work somewhere else. Robert Siemens, who is the assistant public works director, came from the city because he retired from the city and came to work for the county.
Yeah. But I'm asking, it's not as a result of this discrepancy that you found. Didn't ask him about. Right? It's not.
No,
Okay.
no. He'd been planning to said he could retire in August or September of this year.
Right.
No.
Just want to make sure.
Now he don't know nothing about this. He just knows that I asked the question. He threw me under the bus is what I believe. Now I can't prove that. And now everybody on that side is mad as hell with me, except the other truck driver that's only getting $90 for his truck, but he's being subbed out to. Now, where is the other $15? I'm sure they might be paying him cash money. Where I don't know that Dink ain't skimming something off of it. I know there's $15 difference.
Right. Yeah, if it's not written down, you don't know what's happening. Yeah. Understood.
But I'm more concerned about my integrity and my reputation, and
Yeah, I mean the reasons why you ran in the first place, I don't see you changing it at all. You're doing what you're saying that you were gonna do.
yeah, but now, you don't ever know the repercussions of what you're doing until it's over with.
That's true. That's every case that we get.
But I know what worst case scenario looks like.
Do you know what best case scenario looks like as well?
Well, I don't know. In my opinion, I don't see nothing criminal. I see something that's unethical. And there's a big difference.
But what if this leads, again, hypothetically, this leads to a big misappropriation of funds that only you identified at the start through this discrepancy, this unethical discrepancy here?
You see whether now I'm questioning whether I should have made the phone call to Robert Busby or not. And I know Robert. He the phone call is made. He knows why I made it. So it's his duty and responsibility to follow, just like it is your boss,
Exactly.
just like it is to you.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't want to inflate it beyond where it is at this point. You just identified an unethical discrepancy and you're not sure that it's criminal. That's our job. You can't do that. Only we can do that.
Yeah, but
So before, I'm not going to walk out here and call Dink or Clay or anybody else. I'm calling my supervisor. We're going to sit down. We'll more than likely call Busby and kind of let him know what we got going on here, and we'll proceed from there. That's how we do. That's how I do every case.
I'm at risk.
I understand that. We're not reckless in what we do, sir.
Hey, I drive equipment up and down Highway 80. These tractors. I'm not reckless. But you got people that drive like a damn idiot. And they'll run into you.
I understand where you're getting at, yes, sir.
And some of them are drunk. What's the difference? Once the shit hits the fan, you can't get out of it. It's all over you. This ain't only me. This is my wife too.
I understand.
Do you know where Get Your Peanut is? Birdsong Peanut.
Mm-hmm.
You come toward Leafield. There's a big white house there with a white fence.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm familiar. Yeah.
That's where she was born and raised.
Okay, cool.
I farmed that land. There's those pivots up there are mine. I've gone from running $1 million, $2 million business to involved in a $66 million business.
Yes, sir.
And you throw a dollar out there, there's going to be a fight.
Understood.
Tell me your name again. I'm terrible with it.
Justin, I'll leave you my card here.
Justin, you got a card?
Yes, sir. Right there at the Region 5 fill it office, and we'll get you text.
Can I go take this to the county annex door?
Do whatever you need to.
Public Works, on the Public Works. I'll take it up about 3 o'clock in the morning.
I wouldn't want you to intimidate anybody, but that one's yours to keep. I'll just say that.
I was saying that to ask you not to do that. See here, y'all walk through that door.
I mean, I don't want to remove any possibility that I won't call my supervisor and then we'll close it immediately. I don't want to say that won't happen. I never know. Has that happened on other cases?
That's not your call.
Exactly.
I understand. And it probably won't be his either because he's going to talk to Busby. And I don't doubt Busby wouldn't call me. I know to keep it in a closed circle because he needs to know what's going on and he needs to let me know what's going on because I'm really the one at risk here. And I know he will protect my integrity.
Okay.
And y'all will too. That's the way it works. But I'm scared something's going to slip out.
Yeah, you still got to work with these people. Yeah.
These boys all work for me and they won't even speak to me now. Because Dick threw me under the down bus.
Okay.
And who can I trust? Who can I trust up there?
That's what I was asking earlier. Like, you're the only person that identified this amongst the commissioners?
No, there's...
Outside of Toby and the Tim Rushing guy, right?
No, there's a group called the Bulloch Action Coalition. That they started it, and it's got 2 principals in it, Lawton Sachs and Cassandra Michael. Now, they started this about 3 years ago because of what the commissioners were doing with rezoning, and everybody, it looked like they were on the tag. You know, there was discrepancies. Nobody could prove anything. You know who Roy Thompson is? He was the past chairman that got beat by David Bennett. He owned a carpet and tile place. And he's the chairman, and they're doing all this development. How does that look?
What I meant is that you're the only person amongst the commissioners that know about this most recent discrepancy that you're identifying for me today.
No, Lawton Sachs and Cassandra Michael, they know what's going on.
Okay, you spoke with them?
No, they don't know I'm talking to you.
Understood.
But they know what's going on. Lawton Sachs is probably going, he's done an open record request several times at the county. And they've asked him to stop because he really hadn't found anything. But I did tell him that I knew for a fact that another trucker was only getting paid $90. And he said after last night's meeting, I mean, it blew up. Clay Connor was there with Sand Creek. Toby Connor got up and, just raising sand, hollering.
Are these meetings recorded at all?
Yeah, it should be. And then Cassandra Michael got up and put it in their face because of public comments about this discrepancies on this billing of hours, $105 in money. And then showed an example of Duresco that gave all the details.
Right. and how theirs is lacking, essentially, in comparison. And how theirs is lacking in details.
Yeah, and the Dink Butler got up there and says, "I'll correct this. We'll give y'all the information." Because every truck is tracked, you know, it's kept up with, monitored, whatever. Now,
any other commissioners that were there, did they have any questions regarding what was now being mentioned to them by Cassandra? Which is pretty much what the investigation that I have.
Nick Newkirk.
Okay. What did Nick say?
Well, he questioned the same thing. And I told him, leave it alone. Let them keep going. It will be found out. See, I can't tell nobody what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just like I was sitting there last night. Now, Lawton Sachs, he's one of the smartest people I know. Technology-wise, you need to write his name down.
I got it. Lawton Sachs and Cassandra.
And Cassandra Michael. Mm-hmm. Now, Lawton Sachs can find out anything. And we sitting there last night, and I bet I said to him 15 times, I need something that's illegal. He said, well, so-and-so, so-and-so. I says, that's unethical, but is it illegal? So he don't have nothing, but he told me last night that he was going to do an open record request on Public Works about these trucks, because I would not tell him who the other trucker was that was only getting paid 90.
Right.
As one thing I'll go to jail for, I throw people under the bus. Right. And see, that was done to what I hate the most was done to me. Because these boys are this Sand Creek, his two brothers farm, his daddy farms with them. I know them. They all work for me. Even their daddy worked for me at one time. Worked with us when we first started planting cotton in the 90s. And now they won't even speak to me because they think I instigated this stuff. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you want out of me now?
So, any of the other records that you say you can get your hands on. So, we're essentially, sounds like Lawton Sachs is doing the same thing I would need to do. So, as far as getting all these records.
Lawton, pull your shirt back. Let me see. Lawton Sachs don't have one now.
Understandably so. So, you can access these records. I mean, if they're public documents, I mean, there shouldn't be any resistance in gathering those, right?
Would you contact Lawton Sachs?
Yeah, you guys contact.
Huh?
Do you want me to contact? I probably would need to, but
hold on.
How would you feel if I did that?
Hold on now. You gonna leave my name out of it?
I will tell them that there's been an accusation that has prompted a criminal investigation.
That's good. As long as you don't say Ray Davis. As long as you don't leak me out.
But this conversation we're having is documented, Mr. Davis, just so you're clear.
Who's got access to this?
So I would have to give it to the district attorney's office, and once it's inevitably closed, then it's subject to open records by any request. Anyone can request what we're doing here. But while it's pending and active, nobody's able to access any of the documentation.
You sit down with Lawton Sachs, and you'll have 10 times the information what you got from me.
Understood.
But don't you damn tell him.
Yeah, we're not messy. We're not reckless, as I said earlier. Yeah.
I understand that. Did I think Dink Butler was reckless?
Dink Butler ain't got one of these either. To your point.
Yeah,
Do you have
but
contact?
there's rotten apples in every barrel.
Understood.
There's rats in every damn house.
Do you have contact information for Mr. Sachs available? For me, I can always look it up, but if you got it on hand, I'll take it.
He's gonna know it's me.
I mean, I don't have to
But you-
confirm his
but
suspicions.
Don't dare. Don't dare. See, thinking something and knowing something is two
Two
different
different
things.
things, absolutely. I say that all the time. Just yell it out. Or I got you. Alright. And if this meeting, this most recent meeting was recorded, how do I get access to that?
What now?
How do I get access to the recording of the most
Talk
recent?
loud,
Same
same
thing.
thing.
Alright.
Now, I can run a checkbook,
It's
but,
better, yeah.
but I ain't too much on this technology. I have to go get my wife to do it.
Understood.
Don't tear my tractor out.
Yeah. Sir, it was a pleasure meeting you. Yeah, we handle these things delicately, that I can assure you. And if nothing comes of it, then nothing comes of it. If they leave some more stuff,
Do you understand?
deal with it.
Do you understand where I'm at in this?
I understand, sir. Yes, sir.
I got 46 more months. I got people that I'm supposed to be the boss for.
I understand.
If this thing goes wrong, I might as well resign and quit.
We handle it delicately as we can, but we still got to do the job.
I can't impress upon this anymore.
I understand.
I'm just glad you didn't come up here with your GBI stuff. On your vehicle?
You have to cover up a little bit more due to the rain and stuff. You take care, sir. Pleasure meeting you. And we're recording now at 9:52 a.m.